Hello, dear friends, and thanks for tuning into Taste Radio, the #1 podcast for anyone building a business in food or beverage. I'm Ray Latif, the editor and producer of Taste Radio, and I'm with my co-hosts for this episode, Jackie Brugliera, Mike Schneider, and Melissa Travers. You know, John Craven, who's typically in the seat that Melissa is occupying, is in Europe. He's in Ireland, reconnecting with his roots. He's not Irish, is he, though? I don't know.
He does like Guinness.
Yeah, a mix of European, like a lot of us.
He's a European mutt. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Well, anyway.
Oh, wow.
I saw that his parking space was open today. And so, you know, instead
Did you
of...
take it?
I did take it with my beat up 2009 Honda Accord that has more dents than it has miles. It is a pretty impressive thing to park right there.
Did the parking space reject you?
No, it didn't actually.
Drove right in.
But what's great is that I am now the CEO of BevNet because by parking there,
Wow.
by virtue of parking in that spot, I become the leader.
It's like Severance. When you walk in,
I'm
you're
pretty
transformed.
surprised that
Yeah.
you stole someone's parking space after took someone's parking space. I think that's how you summed it up to me the first time I ever met you, when I parked in Ray's spot.
Oh, that's true. I
And he
remember
comes
that.
storming into the office and he's like, "Who's in my spot?" And I was like, "That's probably me."
I do remember
Mike.
that.
And he's got his United hat on. And I was like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah. I do remember that actually. That was like in 2016 when Mike was a consultant before you became CMO.
That was the day I met Ray.
Yeah, and I come charging in there, my arms are like just chugging. I'm like, mother effers.
It was before I was actually consultant too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We had a really small parking lot back in the Watertown office.
It was
so-
everybody was really stressed out about it,
Yeah.
and the parking spaces were marked, and you have to go
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you have to ask for somebody else's spot.
Yep.
and it was very much
I didn't know any of this.
yeah. It was very much seniority. If you had seniority at the company, you got a parking spot. If you didn't, you had to park down the street and risk
That's where
getting
I
a ticket.
parked.
So
yeah, like a train
Yeah.
station or something.
yeah, exactly. At the local pool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
It's
Yeah.
pretty true. I parked in Ray's spot, and then you know what I did the next time? I did it again.
The beginning of a beautiful rivalry.
Anyway, I'm glad everyone's peppy because I am a little tired, to be honest with you, coming back from New York City because it was an amazing event that we were at called the Summer Fancy Food Show. And I walked and walked and walked. And, you know, typically when you traverse these amazing, Melissa traverse these amazing shows, you come back a little tired. But I think everyone seemed to really enjoy this edition of the Summer Fancy Food Show.
It was so great. There are so many great products, our favorite founders, the river. I feel like, half of us barely made it out of the River Pavilion, which was the very top floor, but it was such a great show.
Yeah, the River Pavilion was pretty amazing because it hosted about 300 plus early stage brands that were some of the more impressive brands that I've seen this year, actually. That's not hyperbole. I think the innovation, the excitement, the passion that we always talk about on this show was all represented at the River Pavilion. And that was, typically it's, that whole area is like downstairs in a corner of the show. And I think Specialty Food Association did a really good job putting them in a brighter area, in a much better light, so to speak.
That's so key.
Yeah.
Because in the past, we've complained about the Javits Center. It feels like a dungeon. It feels like a basement. And not only does the Javits Center continue to, up its game with just adding a little bit of light makes a huge difference. And as Melissa said, the way that they have been organizing the event, it just keeps getting better and better and better. And it's difficult to get just out of certain areas because it's really set up for great conversations, great sampling, and just checking out new innovation.
Yeah. I did spend some time downstairs in the, they call it the basement, but it's just really the first floor. On the first day and the second day, I just tried to hit as many booths in the River Pavilion as possible. And just to be clear, the River Pavilion was made up of a bunch of groups that were highlighting brands or work with different early stage brands.
Shout out to Startup CPG.
From Startup CPG.
Yeah, great job.
To a lot of the incubators like the Hatchery, in Chicago, Commonwealth Kitchen in Massachusetts. There were a few others. I'm blanking. I think Emerge CPG, but Emerge CPG might have been downstairs. Anyway, it's so great to see those organizations supporting founders because it's kind of expensive to go to these shows, and to have booth space and to help bring awareness to and visibility to your brand. It's a great thing these organizations are doing.
I didn't have a hell of a lot of time because I was just there for the day and my trains were late. But I like the startup CPG team is a really kind team, and they know what we like, and they'll say, "Oh, you should try this. You should try," and kind of give us a rundown of all the stuff when we get there too, which is really, I don't know, I love that.
Yeah. Well, I know we have a lot of brands and products we want to talk about, but Jackie, you were scrolling through Instagram.
I was.
FOMO.
I was stalking everyone.
You gotta come next year. Who told you not to come?
Shh. She didn't want to.
Now we know.
It's a long trip. It's a long trip.
Yes.
It's a 6-hour flight,
Okay, well, it was well worth it, I want to say.
I know. It sounds like it. I mean, I was stalking you all, following all your Instagrams, But I found a couple things I thought was really interesting. I saw on Adrienne DeLuca's Instagram, she posted the Milkademia oat milk sheets, which I thought were really interesting. So you take like these sheets of like dehydrated oats and you put it in a blender and you get a quart of oat milk.
That's awesome.
That is okay. Now that is
shippable.
That is innovation.
That's amazing.
Could you also sleep under them?
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe.
They're 100 thread count.
Multi-purpose.
Well,
Egyptian
I guess
cotton.
for context, how
Egyptian oat milk.
are they like? Are they just like 3x3-inch sheets? I'm imagining something that's pretty easy and portable.
Yeah, it's just like in a standard, like it almost looks like a pasta box size.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like bed sheets.
Okay. Okay. Good. Well, that does
more
sound
like
really
fabric
That'd be a lot of milk.
But let's be honest. I mean,
It's more like bounce.
it's a real great sustainability play, right? You're not shipping heavy liquid. It's easy. It sounds like it's easy to make. All you have to do is put the sheet in some water, shake it up, and you got some. Is it oat milk or is it Milkademia nut milk? I would assume it's the latter.
They make
oat milk, I believe.
Do they? Okay. Well, again, I think that's a great way to ship sustainably, and probably for a lot of folks, and it's a great way to be able to bring oat milk with you on trips and not have to worry about where you're going to find it or call DoorDash or Uber Eats. You can just do it in your hotel or wherever. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I also saw a product called Juicy Bites. So the packaging was really, really cool, and it was just fully cooked chicken breasts.
Yes.
And it's like 6 packs of chicken breasts, and you throw it in the microwave for like a minute, and you just have, chicken, which is so simple. And it's not something for me, but I was, if I was a meat eater, I would definitely try that product. And they just launched. So that's something new.
So just throw it in the microwave and you got chicken.
But everyone's so obsessed with protein. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily want protein powder or protein bars. It's real protein that's portable. So I think that is a cool thing.
So I tried it. I think you probably saw it on my Instagram feed, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
It's these 2 Korean guys. It wasn't originally called Juicy Bite. They just rebranded, and they have, I believe it's somewhat cooked chicken. I don't think it's completely raw in this vacuum sealed plastic pouch, and you put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and out comes a really moist, juicy chicken breast. And I tried it, and it was really good. Now, normally I'd be a little afraid to try something, plastic in the microwave. That doesn't
sound like you.
It doesn't sound like me, but it was fantastic. And I invited those guys to join us for an upcoming episode of our Elevator Talk series. And for folks listening who are early stage or represent early stage or emerging brands, I highly encourage you to participate in Elevator Talk. It's a bi-monthly video and audio series where we sit down with entrepreneurs who are building really disruptive, innovative brands, talk to them for about 10 minutes each. And in each episode, we have a co-host who is an expert in the industry who can give some feedback and advice. That expert is usually an investor, a retailer, a distributor. So we record new shows every 2 weeks, and we'll be recording them through the rest of the year. So if you want some more information, just shoot me an email or go to BevNet or nosh.com/elevator.
Not BevNet or Nosh.com. BevNET.com/elevator talk.
Yes, there you
or
go.
Nosh.com/elevator talk.
All right, there.
We should get BevNet or Nosh.com for the number of times this guy says that.
Okay, all right.
We can work on that.
All right.
That'd be funny.
You know what?
BevNET.com.
I don't. Okay. For the one person in the world that was going to go to BevNet
Or
or Nosh.com.
I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
Gonna try it.
I apologize. I sincerely
Someone's going to get
apologize.
it, and they're going to put some weird site up of probably AI Mike or AI Melissa.
That'd be
Jackie,
pretty
did you
good.
see my post about this new brand? It's called Nikigo, Nikigo, and they make soy-free soy sauce. Did anyone see this at the show? It was really interesting. The founder reached out to me on LinkedIn. I put a post about attending the show and wanted to see some new things. And she has soy-free soy sauce, soy-free teriyaki sauce, some other things. It was really impressive. She uses a mushroom base.
Because
Oh,
I was thinking, is it tamari? Because
Yeah.
tamari is like a soy free. That's miso, right? Tamari?
Yeah. This describes itself. There's no coconut, no gluten, no peas, no soy. But yeah, what she said is that she uses mushrooms as a base.
This is really
Interesting.
difficult because describing something as what it's not, but also is, that's one of the strangest stories that we continue to see. I have one too for after this.
Yeah, well, this is described as a soy sauce replacement, not a soy-free
Okay.
soy sauce. So a soy
Okay.
sauce replacement.
Soy
Yeah.
sauce replacement. So that's an interesting model, but what actually is it again? Like, what are you eating?
Is it like fermented mushrooms?
I believe so. It's
Okay.
very similar, I think, in terms of how it's produced. Just the ingredients are a little different.
And so, like, an
Got it.
alternative to coconut aminos as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what the founder told me. She's like, our primary competitor, even though they're brand new, would be that brand that you
So they're a
referenced.
fermented
Yeah.
Okay.
mushroom sauce that is a soy replacement.
So what do you have in your hand there? That's
Well, what is this? What does this look like?
chocolate bar?
It looks like a chocolate bar, but this is kupuasu, which is sort of like cacao.
So Kapuasu, the brand name is Figa, Figa, and they come in these standard 2.1 ounce bars. They're all, I get they have the. I think if you look at a chocolate bar, a premium chocolate bar, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So-
and these are they're marketed similarly to premium chocolate bars, and I'd say that it's basically a fruitier chocolate. So this one is salty. I also have fruity in my hand. What's the one you have?
So they're
Melissa?
like the Cadbury fruit and nut bars.
Yeah, but natural. But they're not unlike that.
Oh,
So
really?
Here's
Okay.
the question. Here, you should try.
I have the 63%. It's branded as chocolate's Brazilian cousin.
Here, try
Yeah,
the-
that's really
Try
interesting.
the
Yeah.
try the salty.
Chocolate's Brazilian. I'm
Yeah,
gonna wait because I have a problem eating during the show.
I know. Here, well, I'll do it.
So is it using a different part of the cacao plant, or is it just a different variety of cacao?
It's not cacao at all. In fact, it's
Oh.
kupuasu, which is a commodity like cacao.
Gotcha.
And
So on the back it says Brazil's national fruit, Cupuaçu, and described as the cousin of cacao. We upcycle the seeds of this superfood from regenerative farms to make our uniquely curious bars.
what do you think, Melissa?
It's chocolate tea,
Mhm.
but I would say that if I really wanted chocolate, I think I would still want chocolate. There's a little bit of a dryness in there,
Really?
or like
I find it very buttery, smooth, like cocoa buttery smooth. And
like almost an astringency or something that's like a little.
Well,
Okay.
what's really interesting though, what I love about this is that this fruity variety only has 3 ingredients, and then a lot of chocolate bars are packed with ingredients, a lot more than you would think. This one has Cupuaçu, dates, cocoa butter, and demerara sugar. So I guess that's 4 ingredients.
this one you add. This one is kupuasu, dates, cocoa butter, and sea salt. You were expecting chocolate though. That's probably it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think if I open something shaped like a chocolate bar and it's branded like a chocolate bar, I want the chocolate.
And I think that's
Mhm.
the exact issue that they're going to have because you see 63% kupuasu bar. You see smaller on here, chocolate's Brazilian cousin. And
Mhm.
then you get a flavor. And I think it's good. It's like just
Yeah.
for me, it's a fruitier the way that this one is presented is a fruitier chocolate.
Yeah. Even when you said kapuasu, I still thought you were talking about chocolate. I was like, so like pretty much chocolate, right?
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know too, chocolate has been found to increase dopamine levels. And I don't know if that's because of the sugar or because of the antioxidants in the chocolate or what, but I'm curious to know if it has similar properties to chocolate in that way.
See, there's so much education that you need to put into selling a kapuasu bar, which is why I hope first that more kapuasu bars come out, because I think these are delicious, and Figa could use a few market makers with them.
And not to mention, so important is the prices of cacao increase exponentially, and that's not a situation that's going away. So alternatives like this will become more and more important.
Well, these are also premium too. You can see just by the packaging that I opened up here. These are around $9.
Well, let's stay on the alternative ingredient front. I was introduced to a brand yesterday called Jack's Dad's Hummus. Did you guys just get to see this brand?
I did.
They make their hummus not with tahini, but with miso.
Really?
Yeah. So Jack's dad was making hummus at home, and he realized he didn't have any tahini. He's like, oh, what do I have? He has miso. So they made it. It's really delicious. It was a really, really creamy hummus. The miso is definitely evident. Like when you're eating it, you definitely get that umami flavor. But it was really fantastic. I feel like at a time when it's so hard to differentiate, one hummus from another, this one really stands out. Good stuff.
That sounds tasty.
So good.
The name's interesting. I don't think I would have gotten miso from Jack's dad's hummus, but I really want to try it.
So it's hard to see from my phone because I don't have the package in front of me, or I don't have the actual package in front of me. But the top of the tub says Jack's Dad's Hummus, and on the bottom it says family recipe made with miso, and it's pretty prominent on the top.
That
there.
sounds
So,
amazing. Did you guys try the Zahav hummus?
The Zaha.
Zahav. So Michael Solomonov's.
Oh, Zahav. Yeah, they sent us a product here. Yeah.
So that was the first time that I had tried that, and it really lived up to the name. It was delicious.
Yeah, well, after I saw Jack's Dad's Hummus, I saw a brand that we know and love called Dusra.
Oh, Kartik, we love you.
Everyone's smiling. Everyone's enjoying themselves.
Just the best.
So Dusra underwent a rebrand that looks fantastic. The brand is now described as an Indian snack mix first and foremost. So the largest font on the front of pack is Indian snack mix. And then it describes the ingredients, and it has a picture of the ingredients as well. It looks really, really good. But what was most impressive to me was the new product that they have, the walnut and dark chocolate flavor, which really, it put me on the floor. It was so good.
And Mike and I were talking about this, but Kartik found the walnut supplier at our event, and we were talking specifically about how the skins have been removed from the walnuts, so you don't get that kind of like bitter, flaky, mouth-drying feeling from the walnuts. And the walnuts and the dark chocolate and those crisps are so amazing together.
It's the difference between like formulating a food in your kitchen and then like using food scientists to actually make something that can scale. You can't just throw a bunch of walnuts in a blender and pop them out and make Dusra. It's a pretty well-crafted snack. And Kartik's new packaging it just oozes class. And it kind of, I told him this and I kind of spread it around a bit, but we also workshopped this when we had lunch with Kartik the other day. Kartik's new Dusra feels like a snack your granddad would give you, like in the best way. It's like special, something he would covet for himself and would share with you because he loves you, sort of thing. And I feel like that's Kartik. He's got like that granddad style energy. He tells great stories. He gives people presents. He just wants to see the cool looks on your face. He wants you to experience great stuff, and he never really asks for anything in return. He's like the kindest person you could ever possibly meet.
He wears his belt really high up.
He's like he's smoking a pipe in his soul.
Yeah, he's an old soul, and I feel like he went to Granddad University and got his degree already. Like he's got his master's.
Oh, he's awesome. He knows everything about BevNet and Nosh. So he mentioned, meeting the walnut suppliers at Nosh Live. He was talking up elevator talk to people I was sitting next to or
what a
standing
guy.
next to. He ran over at some point and introduced me to a new brand called Wild Manners, which is a brand of bottled cocktail brand, which was fantastic. Obviously, Kartik, great stuff. It's the kind of person we want to hang out with all the time. So
All the time.
all the time. Yeah.
He gave me this brand called Kraka, which is peanut bites, sweet and zesty, rooted in 4 simple ingredients, 28 calories per bite.
What is it called?
It's called Kraka, Krokka. Oh, and has
And it has a Mazah sticker on the back.
Oh yeah, I made a Mazah shirt to wear at the event yesterday. But there's one bite left, Melissa. Here you go. Those were a great train snack, and I thought they were just going to be like, kind of the old school sweet peanut bites. It's a square peanut bite, kind of held together by, is it caramel?
Caramel.
It is jaggery.
Interesting. Super tasty.
Mm.
Super tasty, I think.
These are delicious. And the ginger and the cardamom in there give it a special twist that really makes it seem different than just a peanut brittle.
Again, Kartik curating the experience of fancy foods for us.
So delicious.
Yeah, they're really good.
Quickfire, Brooklyn Deli, a maker of premium plant-based Indian sauces. And now they have pouches of ready-to-make meals. You put them in the microwave for 30 seconds. Fantastic stuff. They have a new sweet potato coconut dal, black bean butter masala, chickpea tikka masala, red bean rajma masala.
What about
Love
that?
Brooklyn Deli.
What about that tamarind sauce? I died when I tasted. I died.
Yeah.
There was also tamarind at Sorcery has tamarind, and they have it in a jar, so you can just add it to stuff with a bunch of other great spices. Also, shout outs to Podi for being another great South Indian desi brand.
How do you spell that?
Podi.
Podi.
Ginny's. Did you try Ginny's? It's a
Ginny's
great
Pizza?
new beverage brand. Ginny's Pizza, yeah. Ginny's Pizza, great pizza spot in Newton.
How do you spell Ginny's?
Ginny.
I saw it.
Yeah. And that was Lucas and I had a quick sample there, and it was just really, really nice stuff, and looking forward to hearing more from them. Did you try Nourrir? Nourrir?
Those flavors were exquisite.
Weren't they?
Exquisite.
It's a beverage brand.
It's a beverage brand.
There was a cranberry skew that I thought was so fantastic.
Pineapple.
The pineapple ginger.
Pineapple ginger was my favorite.
So good.
That was so good. And
Nourrir. Nourrir. Yes. Nourrir.
Yeah,
right?
Nourrir.
Yep.
What type of beverage is it?
Fruit.
And so they use fruit juice to sweeten the beverage.
Right, we've got to have them on Elevator Talk because I don't know enough about them.
I invited them to join us.
I invited
early.
them too.
Yeah, okay.
So I think most of these brands we've invited. And then in what I would call the sincerest form of flattery that I've seen in quite a while, I shout out to Kefir Cult, who has a new coconut kefir, which when you open it, the jar, it can explode. It's like got so many active probiotics in there. And
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, no,
it's the same thing that might happen.
It's like another
Never
cult.
mind.
Coconut cult. I said it.
Yes.
I mean, those are, and then one I just want to maybe unpack for a second is,
This is supposed to be rapid fire.
This is not going to be rapid fire. It's going to be story time, just for a second though.
Okay.
It's worth it. I'm telling you, this is worth it. Did you try the new formulations of Nara?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh! So I got to catch up with Victoria and Miguel Reyes, co-founders, brother and sister
of Nara, which is a milk tea or canned milk tea brand.
Filipino canned milk tea brand, which was extraordinary before. And I think they've just been working on the balance over time. And the strawberry matcha now is to die for. It's got the perfect. It was leaning a little on the bitter side, and now they've kind of dialed it back in, so that the balance is perfect. And also, they had their younger sister with them too, Monica, who they were just millennialing away, and the looks on Monica's face were just precious, and it was so great. She made the cringe face, the cringe emoji face, and I think she might have been the inspiration for it because we're dabbing and having a good time.
Yes, the dabbing. Yes.
But if you have a chance to meet Victoria and Miguel and Monica, you have to. They're just two. They're
They're awesome
three
folks.
now. Three of the best people that I know. I mean, just extraordinary. And their drinks, oh my God.
All right, Melissa, rapid fire. What do you got?
Rapid fire. Okay. So first of all, Theo Perez is the founder of a coffee company called Theo's Big House Coffee. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check it out, but it's Indigenous owned. So he's a children's book author, and he lives and works on the Warm Springs Indian Reservation in Central Oregon. And so he created this coffee company specifically to bring funding to schools and repairs on the reservation, that kind of thing. So 85% of the proceeds of what he does goes back to the reservation. And he was just the loveliest man ever. And I don't know, I feel like these days, knowing that people are doing things like that and trying to improve the world around us, I think is especially nice to know now. I also have to give a shout out to Barry's. Those are the frozen raspberries covered in.
Oh my gosh, those things are incredible.
Those were my to die for food. They had one that was coated in white chocolate and it had pistachio. It was just out of this world, amazing.
BARI''S. It is worth it, folks.
Really, really fantastic and amazing. I also thought that Slacka was interesting. So that was it's a new beverage on the market. They're marketing themselves as a supplement, and they have paraxanthine, 5-HTP, L-theanine, and it's supposed to curb your food cravings. And they're sort of positioning themselves as a GLP-1 alternative. It's also supposed to help your mood. I also thought the sweetener that they used it wasn't something that I've heard of before. It was Ono Sweet. So that's a fermented glycoside, which is in stevia. So it's supposed to be better for you than erythritol, but also more affordable than stevia. And I was dying to I don't have Donald Wilkes of Blue Pacific on text, but I was dying to text him and ask him what he thought about Ono Sweet. So that I think was really interesting.
Ono Sweet? O-N-O?
O-N-O-S-W-E-E-T.
We'll have to give Don a call.
Yeah, we'll have to give Don a call. And, you should check out the Non-Base podcast on nonbase.com/podcast, because we just interviewed him and he was talking about some of the up and coming ingredients that he sees as, being positioned to blow up in the future. So
Don Wilkes of Blue Pacific Foods we're talking about, who is one of the smartest people we know in terms of
so smart.
Yeah.
Just the gems fall out of his mouth. And then also the founders of Sour Milk, just some of my favorite people ever. They're delivering everything direct. I mean, they're and when I say direct, I don't mean they're dropping shipments off at retailers. They're meeting their consumers at yoga studios and out in the community farmers markets, and they're just buying the product directly from these two women.
I feel like between Sour Milk and Lucky Ox, they're just competing to be the hardest working team.
Yeah, totally.
The hardest working new brand in the industry right now. No, they're great. It was fun to catch up with them. And yeah, as Melissa said, they're riding their bikes. Kiki had a bruise on her arm from, I don't know, something smacked into her. But I feel like they're always moving. They're always on the go. They're go, 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 go. And they meet so many people and they're trying to get their sour milk out there. And I mean, that's what you have to do as a new founder.
And I have one more. I got to meet one of my sort of industry legend people. So I'm such a huge fan of Inés Rosales. They're those olive oil tortas from Seville. And I'm just so impressed with the way that they've been able to distribute the product all across the country and, to me, lose very little quality. They're just that perfectly sweet, light, airy, crispy product. So I got to meet Lucia, who's their VP of National Sales, and she's still in the family, but they've been doing it for over 100 years. And I just love that product so much.
I got to catch up with Umaima from Paro, and it's just one word like Ronaldinho, Umaima. She's got some new innovation that's coming out that you guys are going to love. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet, but
probably not.
But we saw Adnan Durrani and we got to hang out with him for a bit, which
nice.
He's the founder of Saffron Road.
The founder of Saffron Road, and just one of the kindest, coolest person. And by the way, a Paro customer, of course.
Of course. And a Deucera customer,
and a
I think.
customer. Yeah. And he was just dropping just all kinds of just gems on people. Anyone who walks up to Adnan, he's just so generous with his time. I love that guy.
All right, quick shout outs. Moments, which is a sparkling botanical drink made for chill moments, relaxation moments. They have a new sparkling lemonade, a grapefruit lemonade that put me on the floor. So darn good. Slap, SLAPP, which is a Canada-based brand of juice shots, specifically ginger and turmeric shots. These were amazing. Great job, Slap. I came across a brand called Hoxy, HOXY. They make Korean ramen seasonings and Korean ramen toppings. The toppings were incredible. It was like these little, it seems like freeze-dried seafood toppings that can just drizzle right over your ramen. Really, really good stuff. One of the best brands that I tasted, one of the best products I tasted at this show was a frozen pizza by a brand called La Rossi, LAROSSI. It's a women-owned brand that is based in Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. They have a margarita pizza that might have been the best frozen pizza I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
But with apologies to Piola.
Piola. I must have missed Piola.
Piola.
Oh, see, another rivalry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get them together. It's a Bake Me Healthy Jablo rivalry with the boxing gloves. Did you see those two boxing each other?
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and last but not least, I want to mention a new brand called Yak Snacks. They make chaya tortilla chips, CHAYA. I don't know. It's a different kind of root, I believe, that you can use for a lot of different foods. But one of their flavors was a sour orange, habanero, and sea salt variety. That is a combination that I haven't seen before, and I loved it. So great job, Yak Snacks. Yeah. All right.
So much more to talk about, though.
So much more to talk about. And, for folks that we encountered at the show or may not have encountered at the show that can send us samples, we would love for you to please do just that. There are two places you can send them. You can send them to the one and only WCB.
Oh, why would you?
Jackie
Send it here. To me. Send it to me.
Send it to Jackie.
But if you had to choose,
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
if you
kidding.
had to, no.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then you can also send it here to our Newton office. You can find both addresses on BevNet and Nosh. If you can't, just send us an email to ask@tasteradio.com. We'll send you in the right direction. Also, I know I said it was going to be done. Hallelujah. Did you guys see this brand? JALALUJAH. They make spicy condiments, including a jalapeno chili crisp. This is the first jalapeno chili crisp that I've ever
Sounds
seen.
great.
This was a story that I posted on Instagram that got the most comments. More people commented on this particular product than any other at Fancy Food Show, and it lived up to its billing. It was amazing. I also got to quickly shout out, and well, not quickly because he's amazing.
Shout out. I'm going to shout out some more brands.
Well,
Wow.
we got to keep
Well,
going.
if you get to, I get to too.
But I'm going to shout out
Another
Tom
round.
Thai.
Hold
I've
on,
got to shout out Tom
we're running
Thai.
out of time.
TAANTHI. They made this Tom Kha, the coconut soup, and that stuff's amazing.
TANTHI. Okay. Well, no,
he's got to get them all down. So
I gotta
you
write
go
them
on the
down here.
website.
No, the founder of a Greek yogurt brand called Maya, MAIA, big fan of Taste Radio, and he's a very nice guy. We chatted for a few minutes about his Greek yogurt, which is made with grass-fed cow's milk. They have a vanilla bean variety that I absolutely loved. It's less sweet than some of the other Greek yogurts that you might find on the market because, why? They use less sugar. So love that.
I'm going to blame you for not talking about Kali Foods and Kias.
Stop. I got to write all this stuff down.
And
It's like a
I
challenge
also
now.
have to give a shout out to
Tari. Oh my gosh.
This to me is like the Belgian boys pink bag. I was carrying this around and every single person said, "Where do I get that
So
bag?"
Tari is a maker of Peruvian hot sauces. They make incredible products. Oh, you got the
The llama.
it's not it's an alpaca.
I mean, I think it's a llama.
Okay.
Is an alpaca a kind
What's
of
the
llama?
difference?
They're
Sure.
close.
They're close.
Yeah.
But that's like the
But
softest
they're
thing.
not the same.
Wait, how'd you get the bag?
She just gave it to me.
Wow.
Pamela.
That's a cool bag.
VIP
Yeah,
bag.
thanks,
This is like-
Pamela.
this is
Beautiful. That's
I know,
like
isn't
handmade.
that
Wow, that's
it's
nice.
beautiful. Yeah, and if folks out
You
there
see, I'm
haven't,
holding it. Melissa was like, "Give it back to me right now."
yeah,
Right?
don't fall in
gonna
love, Ray.
disappear.
Wow, Ray's about to hoard that bag. He was about to, like a laser disc player. He was about to hoard that.
I was about to
Yeah.
put that on the third shelf in my closet with all the other things that I hoard.
He was
Yeah.
about to. He's about to hoard that like an Amza Superfoods. He was about to. The Tibet. Hey, did you try this?
No.
It's made out of samba, which is like She said basically it's like the rice of Tibet. It's
So
a
it's a
purple
truffle.
barley.
Ooh.
It's a truffle ball.
Yeah, these are amazing. You guys have to try them.
Do you guys want to? I have these too. Lacrids. Did you try these?
Oh my gosh! Okay, we gotta stop.
We
gotta
become
let's save
unhinged.
this. Yes, I said rapid fire. It became like
I opened the package.
rapidly
new.
firing.
Do you
We're
want
rapidly firing.
I'm good for right now.
licorice? Candy coated licorice?
Candy coated
I wanna
licorice.
try it.
Okay, that
Things
looks,
just keep appearing.
Oh boy.
okay. Wait, let's just talk about this real
They're
quick.
a
Okay.
Danish brand. This isn't black licorice, but they have candy coated black licorice, other kinds of licorice. Those are to die for. And you know what I love about those so much, besides, of course, the black licorice and the quality of the chocolate? I think they get that candy shell so perfect. It's so thin the way it is, like on an M&M. It really...
Why did you have to introduce these to me?
I know. I know. They're so... I've had those in my Amazon cart for so long, and now I'm definitely going to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Mike just yelled at you, by the way. He says, "Why'd you have to do
What's
this
the
to
matter
me? What's
with
wrong?"
you?
I said, "Damn you!"
Why'd you
me,
do this
Melissa.
to me?
Yes.
Stop showing me good foods.
Okay. Well, we have a lot more we can talk about, but yes, thank you to everyone who we met at the Fancy Food Show, who shared your products and stories with us. It really
seeing you,
was
Ajis.
it really was a fantastic show. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And I really
I brought home some of their tomato lanza.
Me too.
I ate it when I
Here we
got
go.
home with cottage
so good.
cheese.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good.
that's just a segue. The segue that's never going to happen.
No.
No. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm sure we'll be talking about some of the brands and some of the folks that we encountered at the show. I highly encourage folks to please join us for future episodes of Elevator Talk. It's a really great way to highlight what you're doing. We're going, we're doing surface level kind of shout outs and call outs and talking about things, but
Like to Packley.
yes, we can, we can definitely share more airtime and give your story the credit it deserves on Elevator Talk.
We can.
Shout out there. One of the reasons I wasn't able to stay at the Fancy Food Show the entire time is because I had to head south to Piscataway, New Jersey, where I visited the Clio Snacks manufacturing facility, which was pretty amazing. They have 80,000 square feet where they have a vertically integrated process. They even make their own chocolate, actually, that they use.
Wow.
So if you, just for context, Clio Snacks is a maker
But not Kapusu.
of Greek yogurt snack bars. Typically, they are chocolate covered, but they also have yogurt coated snack bars as well.
Kapusu coming soon.
And I feel like it is a kind of place that everyone wants to visit because it's a very interesting process how they make these bars. It's not what you might expect in a good way. Anyway, I sat down with their CEO for an interview that we'll be featuring in a future episode of Taste Radio. Stay tuned for that. We're pretty much out of time here, but I can't. This episode is coming out the day before July 4th, and we're coming up on the second half of 2025, and it's been a really interesting year in terms of how the CPG industry has unfolded in food and beverage. I think there were so many questions at the outset between tariffs and fundraising and, GLP-1, the impact of GLP-1 drugs,
Food additives,
sugar,
colorings.
the cost of certain ingredients. Melissa, you mentioned cacao. But I think for the most part, despite all the social, economic, and political unrest that we're seeing throughout the world, which is overwhelming sometimes, I'm pretty excited about the second half of 2025 based on what we've seen with the amount of financial investments. All the great excitement and passion that we saw at BevNet Live, that we saw at the Fancy Food Show. I feel like the good things are a coming. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Jackie, how are you feeling about the second half of the year?
We'll leave the light
I'm
on
feeling
for you.
good too. I mean, I think there's so much chaos surrounding everyone and so much going on, and it makes the industry feel like everyone's bonding together even more. Everyone's sharing more information to navigate all the different changes that are going on. More people are sharing their secrets on LinkedIn or attending these events to talk about, the challenges. And I think it's just going to open doors to some really cool opportunities and really support a lot of brands moving forward as they grow.
And no matter what happens to the economy, no matter what happens next, people always need to eat food. And I feel like it's one of those indulgences that no matter what's happening to the economy, people want a little bit of pleasure in their lives. So it really is something that no matter what happens, people just always need to eat food, and everybody always wants to eat delicious food. So,
And I think demand, interest, and willingness for people to try ethnic foods is. I don't want to call it peak level because it seems it's going way beyond that. I mean, just the brands that we talked about and that we saw at the Fancy Food Show. I mean, just what we're seeing on the table. We have a brand from Brazil. We have a brand from where is this, Mike?
Tibet.
From Tibet, from Peru, from Mexico. I mean, it's amazing to see all these ethnic foods and flavors coming into the American market, and the thirst and demand for them is at an all-time high. So that's something to be really positive about too.
Yeah.
I think the brand that's positioned best for right now, just this sort of chaotic state, is Ashley Nicholson's brand, BTR Nation, because right now everybody wants a better nation. By the way, did you try her blue bottle BTR collab, the crispy rice treat, matcha treat?
No, but I really wish I had.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty good.
Why don't you have one of those for us?
Because I ate it, of course.
Of course.